So at the last CILS, if you remember, for those of you who were there, we had decided that we would lean into the aspect of agrodiversity, which is a very, very important part of this landscape, which I have come to appreciate more and more. We all know world famous Central India is for the charismatic megafauna, but it should also be world famous for being a center stronghold of endangered small millets, as important part of conservation. So that's what we're digging into here. The last CILS we decided we would get into this aspect of the landscape, and we formed a roundtable. Mansi will tell you more about that when she has the mic. I'm just going to tell you a few pieces about this issue. So, किसी को पता है ये क्या है? क्या है? Kutki. Right. Next. Yeah. Kodo. So, not quite as charismatic as tigers and leopards and all of the wonderful species we have here, but I'm going to say more important for humanity. These millets have been, or millets in general, have been the cereal that has sustained humanity going back thousands and thousands of years. Ye kya hai? Ye kahan hai? Anybody been there? I've been there. The Delhi hut in Delhi, in New Delhi, has this millet experience, it's called. And it is an experience. And you can find millets online. We all know that. Nicely packaged, quite expensive. International Year of the Millet. We all know about that. And the Indian government has taken this on board, and for very, very good reasons, because we all know that the millets, these small seeded grasses, are climate resilient. They evolved in semi-arid conditions, so they can use less water. They're less susceptible to high temperatures, very appropriate for this landscape, and also because of the nutritional aspect. We all know they're good for diabetes, low glycemic, high iron, high calcium, all around good from a nutritional point of view. And what we've learned more and more about is the presence of the small millets in this landscape in central India. So we all know about jowar, bajra, and ragi, the major millets. That's what you'll find when you go to the millet experience in Delhi Hut. No Latin names here, Rohan. I can put them if you want, but I took them out because of you. But the interesting aspect of this is there is so much diversity in this country of millets, in addition to the major millets, other small millets, and there's an even longer list than this. And the major millets, the larger seeded ones, are not native to India. They came from Africa long time ago, many thousands of years ago, through trade routes. But what is native to India is kutki and kodo, which is what we have in our landscape here. And they have been used for thousands and thousands of years. So what we've been doing, and I'm very grateful to the NGOs that we've been working with who have given us this opportunity. So there's Reliance Foundation, Samert, and Earth Focus, who are all working on reviving millets, working with farmers to improve their production of millets, to raise awareness about millets, to improve consumption, to try to get over the stigma that millets have as a non-aspirational cereal that is very much present. So we've had the opportunity to work with these NGOs to learn from the interventions they're doing and learn how they're working. And very much as Krutika had spoken about yesterday, this is not exactly a very highly designed randomized control trial, but we've done our best to collect information in villages where these NGOs are working and comparable villages, comparable in terms of topography, demographics, soil, and so on, to be able to track how these interventions are playing out with the farmers. Are they effective or not? What are farmers, how do they perceive? So we have lots and lots of data. We've done over 7,000, almost 8,000 surveys talking to households and farmers. And I won't show you a lot of data, no worries, but there is a lot of data. But just to give you a sense of the kinds of things we're learning, one of the things that we're learning is that people in this landscape are still eating these kodo and kutki, a lot more than you might think if you just hear what people say about bache nahi khate hain or mere pitaji khate the main nahi khati hu. You hear that a lot, but you also learn that people are still eating millets, but you can see it is dying out. It's like in its last generation. We eat it when we're not well. The kids don't like to eat it. We hear that a lot. So it feels to me like this is the time. This is the one more generation, and the knowledge and the appreciation for millets will continue to decline. So we're getting lots and lots of information about how much people eat, how much they grow, how much they sell, the income that they get, and so on and so forth, and why this, why people are eating less than they used to. A lot has to do with processing technologies here, which is a very big thing that we're trying to work on in the roundtable. Next slide, please. And we are working on trying to populate a dashboard like this with actual quantitative information about the production, about the income, the consumption habits, well-being in terms of migration and so on, various attributes that we can quantify. But what has been so much more important is what we're learning qualitatively from being able to hear what people say, hear what people's experiences are, hear about what diversity they used to have that is dying out and why. And it's just been like the opportunity of a lifetime to be able to learn about this incredible richness in this landscape, which makes one more reason why Central India is such a special and important place to keep this diversity. What else is there? Yes, this, the elephant, Bandhavgarh. So we just heard about the elephants, and we all know, I'm sure we're all very aware of what happened in Bandhavgarh when 11 elephants sadly died from eating kodo, and it is quite well established now that the reason was mycotoxin. We are going to have an online talk in a little while after the panel to hear about the investigation. And we are also going to have a baitak led by Manojji, who is somewhere here, this evening about food safety. The interesting thing was when we were conducting these surveys, we would hear in some places people talk about this, matona, the intoxication, thank you, nasha, intoxication that people get, sometimes from eating millet. And this became very personal because we ate millets back in the US. And yeah, you can attest to this. And I also fed it to 2 students, and we all got sick. So what the farmers were telling us very much resonated, exactly the same kinds of symptoms. So this is a real issue with kodo, and we heard about it a lot. So we started working on this, but very quietly, because we didn't want to raise any alarms, trying to understand about this mycotoxin. Is it a mycotoxin, where it happens, why it happens, what kinds of varieties, so on. Manoj has been so wonderful in working with us on this. And we have a science team of mycotoxicologists and food safety experts who have been working on this. And then this happened. And so we have quite a bit of evidence now that the culprit is this this particular mycotoxin called CPA. So we'll hear about that some more. What we're trying to do, is to develop a simple test, because this does not exist. There are no standards, regulations, tests for this particular mycotoxin. So we've been working on trying to develop a easy test, inexpensive and easy test. That's in progress. It will take a little time, but that is the idea. So we will hear more about this from Mr. Ritesh when he tells us about the investigation, and also in the Beituk on food safety. So as I said, this is such an important piece of this landscape that when I first came to this landscape, I did not appreciate that this is the stronghold. Mandla is the highest producing district of small millets in the whole country, and India is the biggest producer of millets. So this is the stronghold. This is where it is, and this is what we need to work towards conserving. Thank you.